Is he into you or not? If you're asking that question, then here's what I know. You're confused, because the problem is it's not so black and white. You aren't sitting there wondering if the guy who's never calling you back is into you. You're sitting there wondering if the guy you're kind of, sort of seeing and you have feelings for, but he's not your boyfriend yet, if that guy's into you long term. And you're likely either getting mixed messages from this guy or you don't know how to interpret his signals. And you do want to know right away if he's into you or not, because if he isn't, I want you moving on from him to find the right man. I'm Nicole Moore, love coach and founder of LoveWorks, and in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 ways to tell if a guy is not interested in you for the long term. The first sign that he's not into you long term is that he only sees you when it's convenient for him. Think about it. When you really like a guy, don't you sometimes stay up late on a work night even though you know you need your sleep and you're going to be really tired tomorrow? Or don't you even make time for him even though you're busy? For the most part, if a man is into you and sees you as long-term potential, he will make time for you in his schedule even if it's inconvenient for him. He'll wake up super early, for example, just to take you to the airport, or he'll rearrange things in his schedule and change plans to fit you in. If he's only seeing you when it works for his schedule, and his schedule seems to mysteriously be so busy all the time except at 11 p.m. on Saturday night when he decides to text you, hey, what's up? Then he's probably not super into you and you do want to move on. I remember one time in college, I was hooked on this guy who was a year older, and he had graduated and he was coming back to visit, and I had made up this story in my mind. Oh my God, he's coming back to see me. I'm so special to him. And of course, my girlfriends who lived with me at the time were like, oh my God, your boyfriend's coming. Are you so excited? So you can imagine, I'm getting more and more excited. Well, he arrived on a Friday afternoon, and I'm sitting there waiting for him to come see me, waiting for his text, looking and feeling like an idiot when he didn't reach out to me until way later that evening, and he said, oh, you know, I just stopped by to see some friends. That's when I realized if he truly cared about me and didn't just see me as a hookup, he would have come to see me first thing, even if he had friends to hang out with. So the bottom line is, if you don't feel like his priority, you're probably not one. So if you want to declare right now with me that you will only from this point forward attract in men who see you as the priority, not when it's just convenient, type I'm the priority in the comments below if you agree. And here's the number 2 way to tell that he's not into you. He refers to you as his friend when you're out with him in public and intentionally does not place a label on that relationship. So the same guy that I mentioned above that I really liked, well, one of the things I did was fly out to Washington to see him where he was working as a ski instructor, even though I hate the cold and I've never even skied before. Again, I was doing the inconvenient because I liked him. So we were out with friends the first night that I got there, and they asked him in front of everyone, so are you two dating? And he froze and he just stammered out this response that was like, oh, you know, we're kind of hanging out. It was so awkward. And I felt really hurt because I thought he cared about me so much. When we were together, he was really sweet with me and I thought he really liked me. But clearly he saw me as an option and not as a priority. So if you've been seeing a guy often or for a long time and he's still calling you his friend when he's with others, he's just not that into you. Don't make the mistake that I did and that so many other women make, that we confuse how we feel about a guy with how he feels about us. So here is the number 3 way to tell that a guy is not that into you. He doesn't show care or concern for your emotional well-being. So the same guy that I mentioned, well, part of the time that I was dating him, I went into some severely disordered eating patterns. I was obsessed with being skinny. I was weighing myself multiple times a day and I refused to eat carbs. And he didn't say anything, even though I looked visibly skinny. But then later, after we had stopped dating completely, he made a comment to me like, oh, you know what, when you were really skinny, you weren't really that happy. But he never said anything to me at the time that we were dating. And that showed me he was not emotionally invested enough in me to say something out of concern. So when a man is really into you, he does care about your emotional well-being tremendously. He makes it his personal mission to make you happy. So if you feel like a guy is just on the surface with you, if he isn't showing that he really cares about you and your life, and especially your emotions, then he's just not that into you. Now, coincidentally, the guy that I was dating that was not that into me, he was named Mike. My amazing husband is also named Mike, and my husband actually shows me that he cares for me every day. Without fail, he chooses me. So how I went from that Mike that did not really care to this Mike, who is my husband, is I followed a plan to meet my man. And I want to gift that plan to you. So go to the link below to access my video called How to Attract Your Dream Man in 6 months or less without wasting time on the wrong man. In that video, I share with you the exact plan that I used and that hundreds of my clients have used to find their dream man. So, did you like this video? If you did, like it here, leave me a comment and subscribe. And I want to hear from you. Have you done the same mistakes I have, where you thought a guy cared about you so much only to feel embarrassed later on when he did not? If you did, leave me a comment below. Let's share in this sisterhood. I want to know. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.